Well, Trace, we caught up with one of your favourites, Fiona Kernaghan, a couple of weeks ago, and we said it right then we'd have to catch up with Fiona, being around the place, and the re-release of her album from 20 years ago, the 20th anniversary of Cypress Grove, and Fiona joins us now. Welcome to Tracy and the Big D for the first time, Fiona.
Yeah.
Hi guys, thanks for having me. It's so cool to hang out tonight.
Anytime.
20 years of anniversary of Cypress Grove. I imagine you could write a book of what's happened in that last 20 years.
Oh, yeah, it's been colourful. Sure hasn't been boring, but you know, like they say, time flies when you're having fun. I don't know where these years have gone. But yeah, it's a fantastic time to look back and celebrate and think about how far we've all come and everything that's happened. You know, the thinking behind this re-release was really, it was pre-Pro Tools and digital, no iTunes or any of that stuff when the album first came out. We thought, let's make it available to people to buy online for the first time and grab it off iTunes and the website and all that good stuff.
What sort of planning goes into doing something like this? Obviously, you talk about what's changed in that time, but to make a re-release of something that was so good 20 years ago, what do you plan to get it right?
You know what I reckon the biggest challenge is? Just to avoid the temptation to change it. And just to leave it alone and let it be this cool thing that it was, because it doesn't need anything. We didn't remaster it. We didn't make it louder. We just left it in its original integrity, and I'm so glad we did that because there's some magic to this record, and we've let it just stay exactly how it was.
You've got the hit the nail on the head. But have a look at a lot of songs today, and like when our children say, oh, look, listen to this brand new song. It's just come out yesterday. You've never heard it, Mum. And we start singing along to it because it was something that's been recorded 20, 30 years ago and someone else has brought it out. So it's great that you're actually bringing out something that you did 20, 30 years ago and bringing it back out today. Are you finding people remembering the songs and going back through them, and when you're performing them, they're singing them back to you already?
Yeah, and over the years, a lot of people have asked about what happened to this record, or they loved it and they'd love to buy it again because they've lost it or they've worn the cassette out or something like that. So, yeah, that's another reason that we thought we'd reissue it.
We're talking with Fiona Kernaghan. Fiona, what has changed in your music taste in 20 years?
Ooh. Yeah, man, that's a great question. Well, as you know, I've been off in the States for the better part of 20 years and worked with a whole bunch of different people in LA and New York and Nashville. So I was obviously taking on a lot of new influences over all those years. And I reckon the biggest change for me, because I grew up on country and that was a pretty easy transition to Nashville, the biggest change would probably be getting my head around a different approach to music in Los Angeles, especially when it comes to writing for film and TV that I got into.
What's the difference, like from here to there?
Yeah, well, it's mostly a difference between country and traditional songcraft and songwriting, and then a more kind of loose, abstract approach.
Okay.
Where you might not, say in LA, if you want a song to go with a TV program or underneath a script and dialogue with actors talking, you might not want a song that's going to tell too much of a specific story. You might want something that's going to fit in different places without being too obtrusive.
Time to name drop now, Fiona. Give us some shows that get the credit Fiona Kernaghan.
Well, I was lucky enough to have this one song in particular rock on in a bunch of different shows. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, American Idol, the Steve Harvey Show. What else? A bunch of things City of Angels popped up in.
I should make a
list so that they come to mind more easily, yeah.
Recently we've been talking with James Blundell. He's had a few songs out at the moment, and Bones come out, which was really exciting too because you'd sort of co-written and there. How did that come about with James?
Oh, look, James is one of my oldest buddies and supporters because, you know, we used to do gigs together back when Cypress Grove first came out. And then we met up again in Nashville and did singer-songwriter nights together. And I've always been such a fan of his work. He's just one of Australia's best songwriters. So when I was spending time back in Oz again, he caught wind of that and said, oh, Fiona, will you have a sing on this great blues song that Jack Stone wrote I want to release? I think it'd be a great duet. We'll do something really different with it. So he brought his gear over to my apartment. We set up in the living room and just did it all there.
So the official launch is this Friday. What's the big pomp and ceremony happening this Friday?
I reckon we'll just get online and open a bottle of champagne.
The good old Kernaghan way.
Of iTunes. Yeah.
I like it, yeah.
And if someone wants to get in on the act, how do they do it, Fiona?
They can go to FionaKernaghan.com I'm going to put all the latest news and pics and things there, and then we can connect on Facebook, and then obviously if they want to grab it from iTunes too, that's always easy.
Well, we're going to give a blast from the past for the people that remember it 20 years ago, but it may be a new experience for some now. We're going to go out with, I think we might play track 4 off the album, Trace.
Sounds like a good idea, because has anyone ever loved you, Big D?
Oh, I hope so.
We'll find out.
He's so lovable.
He is uncuddly, I suppose. Here's Fiona Kernaghan. Thanks for joining us tonight, Fiona. Has anyone ever loved you?